All right. Are you tired of getting into ChatGPT and seeming to start from scratch every single time? Well, thanks for joining today because I am going to teach you to stop starting from zero with ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever it is, and transform your life. Wait until the end or look in the show notes or the description because you will leave this with actually having practically built something. I'm not here to teach theoretical. I am here to teach you practical. So you as a solopreneur, small business owner, or really anybody in the scope, go ahead and stay with this video. Fast forward if you want to the end. I literally give you prompts and we'll walk you through how to set this up practically. So you ready to dive in? All right, let's go ahead and do that. So obviously that's kind of what I talked about already. But this is the whole point. I want you to just kind of see this visual. Every conversation is going to start from scratch. This is what happens when you don't have personalization or custom instructions set up for your ChatGPT or Claude or whatever else you use for your LLM. Personalized ChatGPT already understands you. This is the big one that nobody seems to talk about, nobody seems to care about. So who am I? Why listen to me? My name is Steven. I founded Onward AI Solutions. I've been doing IT application administration for enterprise business applications for a while, build AI websites, automation workflows daily. I change the way that I operate. And actually I have one operation that I do that is basically fully run by AI. Obviously I know where to put the human in, so it's very authentic and human, but the rest of it, that can be generated from AI. And so I played with this for a long time well, not as long as some other people, but I've been diving in for the last year in the ever changing scope of AI. And so how do you stay on top of it? Honestly, just do your best and play with it every single day. So I'm a daily ChatGPT Power user, Claude user, Gemini, HeyGen, all these different things. This is not a HeyGen video for those of you who know who this is. This is actually me. See, pinch my face. Ow, that kind of hurt. Anyway, I teach the workflows that I actually use and I show you practically what I do in my day to day because there's no point in recording this video, giving you a bunch of theoreticals and charging you to actually come and learn how to do it. So share this with anybody who wants to know how to practically change their life with AI or technology for that matter. So what are custom instructions? So in ChatGPT, it learns how you work. So what are custom instructions? So ChatGPT has a section with custom instructions. So that kind of gives it like, hey, every time I talk to you, this is who you are. This is what you do. So think of ChatGPT like Google in a sense, where it has access to this whole mainframe of data. And depending on what you tell it, you guys are probably very familiar now with like prompting of just like, hey, this is who you are. This is what I want you to do. Here's some like information, and then this give it to me in this output. You're probably very familiar with that, but are you tired of freaking doing that every single time? That's what the point of custom instructions is. It gives chat or any AI LLM, in this case, I'm going to just stick with the chat language this whole time. It gives it background information that it would not otherwise have for how you do your job, for what you do. So are you a realtor? Are you a small business owner? Are you in the trades? Are you in like a creative? Are you a designer? Are you a photographer? Whatever your industry is, ChatGPT doesn't know that. So you get to tell it what it is. And then who do you like to take business advice from? Who do you not like to? All these things are important and you can tell ChatGPT exactly how to do this. So think about this. You would normally have to pay tons of money to go sit down with a professional business coach in your niche. Now you can actually customize AI to be that for you. So I found there's 6 parts of great custom instructions. This is what I use personally. It has an identity, it has goals, expertise, values, communication, and decision framework. So the identity, who are you, like your goals, what do you want it to do? The expertise, like look around you at the experts in the field. Then the values, it's like, hey, I value honesty, I value transparency, I value transformation. Communication, I like short, simple communication. I like it to look like AI totally wrote this, or I hate the fact that like AI wrote this. And so your communication styles, and then decision framework. How does it decide what to do with the information? So identity. So my name is, I don't know, personalized. My name is Stephen Colbert. I own an AI technology solutions business. I primarily use ChatGPT for figuring out business planning and scoping and how to connect with customers and solve problems. And my customers are anybody in the field who's like a small business owner to solo entrepreneur, small firms or anybody in between who just needs help going from theoretical to practical and then most likely don't even have the time to do it, but they have the money and just say, hey, Steven, can you do this for me? Absolutely. That's where I come in. And so look at this a consultant example I got. My name is Sarah. I own a marketing consulting business. I use ChatGPT for client proposals. My customers are small business owners. Very simple, right? So that's kind of where we want to start is who are you? Goals. So what are you trying to accomplish? Your biggest goals are what? Is it growing revenue, saving time, hiring, communications? Let's say that you are an electrician, for example. like in my example here, book emergency calls, reduce time, writing quotes, 5-star reviews. Those are some great examples. But what if you even want to go one step further to communication? Say that you are tired of like, hey, I am not really good at communicating and I feel like I just drop too many emails, too many calls, too many unprofessional communications happen with me. You can say my biggest goals are to have really good communication. That can be one of your actual goals. It doesn't always have to be something like business revenue generating. It could be something as like I literally just sit with you anytime I need to review finances, anytime I need to review what I wrote, anytime I need to talk to a customer about a hard situation. You can personalize it around any aspect, not just building revenue. Expertise. So this is the one that I think is really going to benefit a lot of you because nobody really thinks about this. You can program in expertise because it finds information from online. So marketing, technology, finance, you can have it just be a marketing guy, just be a technology guy or finance lady. I'm going to say guys and ladies. But look at this example I threw in here for the photographer. Okay. For marketing, the photographer wants a wedding industry marketer because that is going to be the niche. Technology, website consultant for, that's where it's like, cool, like this is who I am. And this is how I want you to actually talk to me when I talk about technology. And then finance, it's like, hey, I don't know all the things for finance. Act as a small studio bookkeeper. So now instead of just using it as marketing or technology or finance for you as this photographer is actually doing all three. You can program this in. And you can even take it a step further. Do you have a marketing, technology, and finance guru that you follow on YouTube or anything like that? You can tell it to assume the role of that person as your personalized business coach, finding all the relevant information online that it has on that person and anything they've published or put out there that it can grab and it can read that in. Granted, it's going to be limited in some scope because some stuff isn't allowed to be grabbed, but most of it is. You can even go and use this app called Notebook LLM, drag in any YouTube video, drag a synopsis in, and then use chat's memory to go ahead and say, hey, here's some more background information that I really want you to use. Like make sure this is a part of the memory for my expertise in marketing, technology, or finance, or anything in between. Values. This is another big one that a lot of people overlook. And this is where ChatGPT has its own stuff. You ever see the confirmation bias? You ever see bias in here? Bias is very common in AI. So what do you want to do? You either always want to prioritize or never recommend. So you always want to prioritize. For me, it's like integrity, long-term thinking, like, hey, what decisions can I make now that will pay off in the long game? I'm never into like get rich quick or short bursts of excitement. I'm always like, hey, give me the long game strategy and what is the better play. So that's what I do as one of my values. Never recommend anything. Like I said, it's like I program it to be like, hey, never recommend anything that's like get rich quick because that's going to die off. I always prioritize this. So what is that for you? Always prioritize client trust and long-term relationships. Never recommend pushy sales tactics. That's a great one in my realtor example that I have here. Then again, you can just replace realtor with anybody. This is honestly just a hands down, copy and paste that and steal that, drop it in yours. Communication. Talked about this a little bit, but you can do tone, formatting, length, reading level, and then should ChatGPT challenge me? Absolutely. Tell it like, hey, in my communications, you should always challenge me, challenge what I have to say. If something seems off based off like local market research, in this case for the HVAC, challenge me if my quote seems underpriced. It can do market research for you. And there's certain ways to do this actually, so it can be really accurate, but that's not the point of today's video. But what I wanted to point out is no one ever programs it to be like, hey, look at what I have, push back on me, and then let's go from there. So you might be wondering as well, looking at this thing, like, how do I tell it my tone, my formatting, my length? Some of the stuff like, hey, I like short communications. That's who I am. But tone and formatting, like, what the heck? Look at other people in your niche and be like, hey, yo, ChatGPT, go ahead and do some market research on other people that communicate for this. What is the type of style that I should use? Grab that. And so, boom, now you have that information. Now go grab your own like emails and texts and everything and say, hey, chat, now I'm going to upload several documents, copy and paste from my personal communications. I want you to blend the two into a perfect tone, formatting, length, and reading level for my ongoing conversations and communications, the way that you talk to me and the way I talk to other people. Have you ever thought of that before? Life changing right there. All right. Decision framework. How should ChatGPT make decisions? Automation, scalability, return on investments, practical implementations. Again, it's coming back to the point of like you always prioritize and you always avoid. It's very black and white AI, like these language models. If you tell it something to always do, it always wants to do that. If you tell it to what to avoid, it's always going to avoid that. And isn't that the goal? You do not want to be having it trying to think and figure out what you want. You want to be very black and white. This coach example is really, really, really good. Always prioritize client transformation. Avoid generic advice. Always explain the reasoning. Ask clarifying questions for when goals are unclear. That's a decision framework right there. How? Because it's like, hey, we're always focused on client transformation. So when it's like, hey, let's go ahead and work this diet into this person's coaching that I'm giving them. Okay, and then ChatGPT be like, cool. Well, decision framework, one thing is we are going to be prioritizing client transformation. Does what you just said help prioritize that? Okay, well, we're going to avoid generic advice, like you should probably walk 30 minutes a day or something. All right, so we're not going to throw that into here. Always explain the reasoning. All right, why am I going to have you do a healthy diet? Now, ask clarifying questions for when goals are unclear. I'm not really sure what the goal is of offering this client this meal. You see how that changed? It's like the decision framework previously would be like, that's a great idea because confirmation bias is like built in to be like 101 for ChatGPT. All right, now when you put it all together, identity, who I am, what I run, goals, what I'm trying to accomplish, expertise, how ChatGPT should think, values, what never changes, communication, how it should respond, decision framework, how it should choose. All right, do you see how just looking at this right now, this will change the way you operate forever? Because right now, you're not operating with any of this. Seriously, think about that. You are going into a environment in ChatGPT that's just like, I'm trying to figure it out as we go. But instead of like, this is the starting framework, it's like, cool, this is who you are, this is what you do, this is what you're accomplishing, this is how I should think, this never changes, this is how I should respond, and this is how I choose what to give you. Can you imagine now the differences? And I'm going to show you a practical example like in just 2 seconds about this. This will change your life drastically. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to test it right with this prompt. Write a follow-up email to a lead who hasn't responded. Oops. Let's go back here. All right. So what I did is I pulled up ChatGPT not logged in without my custom instructions. And we're just going to pretend we're the average Joe. It's like, hey, I should use some ChatGPT in my life. Okay. Write a follow-up email to a lead who hasn't responded. Here's a professional email you can customize. Okay, great. You know what? So here, following up, subject. Hope you're doing well. I wanted to follow up on my previous email that you had a chance to review. I know things can get busy. Well, I wanted to check in and see if you have any questions or if there's any additional information I can provide. I'd be happy to discuss how we might be able to help you with your goals. If now isn't the right time, just let me know, and I'm happy to reconnect at a later date. Hey, you know what? This is actually pretty good. A lot of the stuff is getting better, but this is just generic. Totally fine. Let's see what happens if I drop this into my personalized ChatGPT. Alrighty, so I got a new chat here. Let's go this with less distraction. All right, now check this out. Now this is pretty good. Hey, I want to follow up in case my last email got buried. I know you're busy, so I wanted to check in and see if you're still interested in exploring ways we can help streamline your business with AI and automation. If it's still on your radar, I'd be happy to schedule a quick 15-minute call to learn more about your business, answer any questions, and see if we're a good fit. If now isn't the right time, no problem at all. Just let me know and I'd be happy to reconnect whenever it makes sense. Looking forward to hearing for you. Best Seem Cool AI solutions. Look at this. It already knew who I was. Basic chat. Look at this. It didn't know who I was. Didn't know, obviously doesn't know who you're talking to. It was just so generic and so on base. It's like, you can fill all this information in. But look I just saved a lot of time. Why? You just copy and paste, and even you can actually send it to depending on how you got your connection set up. But look at this. I'm very focused on hey, let's just get something on the books, 15 minutes. That's one of my big things. It's can we actually do follow up? It already knows my business with AI and automation, and it already knows my sign off name. And look, it's so much more personable. It's just sounds like I wrote this, and this is the goal. So if you want to see my personalization instructions, if you want to see how to get here, you come down to your little, account icon, I guess, come up to personalization. And then from here, you'll be able to see your custom instructions window. In my custom instructions window, I got a whole bunch in here that tells me and guides on what to do. All right. Now this is the shortcut that you've been waiting for. Let ChatGPT build your custom instructions. So the next couple slides, and also in the description, there is this prompt. Go ahead and copy that and paste that and follow along, and I'm going to show you how to do this. All right, step number 1, copy this. All right. So we're going to actually just do a new chat here. We're going to clear chat. And this is the unlogged in one because I don't want my bias getting pulled in here. Is I want you to act as my AI onboarding specialist or put in whatever you, do not, your goal is to help me build the perfect custom instructions for ChatGPT. Do not generate the final custom instructions immediately. Interview me one question at a time. Wait for my answer before the next question. Your objective is to understand how I work custom instructions, etc. All right, go ahead and drop this in here. It's perfect. All right, so this is the first thing to do. So you can answer this, but wait, before you do that, Go to your next slide. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Ask questions covering these areas. So now that's programmed right there. I already asked you a question, but we're going to go ahead and drop in this next prompt because you wanted to program on what areas do you want to focus on. Okay, cool. Tell about yourself. All right, we're going to pretend that, what should we pretend today? How about we are a solopreneur for like, let's be a realtor. I know there's a lot of realtors out there, so let's be a realtor today. So I am a realtor. I help say you love new young families get homes in, let's say, Colorado, because that's where I live. I don't think you can do ICPs for realtors. I think that's some of the legal stuff. So that's something to pay attention to, is make sure one of your pushbacks in here is like legal stuff. That's something, just like free advice for you. Okay. I'm a realtor. I help you out with That's cool. That's a solid starting point. Okay. Cool. Identity deeper. What makes you different from other realtors? Let's say I have helped over 250 families get homes in the tough Colorado market. All right, cool. All right, goals looking ahead, like so months. What are your business goals? Let's say if you don't know, you can use ChatGPT to help you build that. Let's just say you do know one. It's like, I want to help 5 new families by November get into a home. Let's just say that's something simple. Okay, expertise. Let's see what kinds of expertise you think like. Expertise, top real estate agents in the state of Colorado for young families entering the market, special strategies for affording mortgage. And then at this point, I would say drop in your own expertise. I'm not a realtor, so I couldn't speak this for you. But you can say something like, give me a couple niche outside the box expertise that I should consider. Add a couple niche outside the box opportunities I should consider to have as an expert so I can accomplish my goals. It might pull in like a marketing aspect or something. Cool. All right. Good. All right. And you can say, add those recommendations in. And then for question 5, values. Let's just say honesty and integrity. All right. Question 6, communication style. Simple, short, witty, personable. Never use hash tags or M dashes or ever feel like AI writes communication to me or outside communication. All right, here we go. Question 7. When you're asking ChatGPT for marketing ideas, content, and business advice, how proactive should it be? How about very proactive? All right, how should it handle disagreements with you? Push back on my ideas with proven sources and strategists so that I can clearly see my holes in my theory and I decide what I do from there. Business focus. See how this is going though? See how we are now just like, hey, this isn't just me trying to fill it with some basic information. It is extracting information from me about how to do this really well. All right. So besides adding 5 new families to homes in November, part of it do you want Chad to help you improve the most? Building relationships, finding deals, negotiation tactics. Your ideal client. I can't do ICP, not allowed for realtors. See, look at this. See, now this is one of the things of like, hey, we need to avoid this. So it's, even though it knows that we like young families, it has now put this in here to say, hey, we're going to avoid this. Values and boundaries. Besides this, nothing new. All right, question 12, your personal brand. I want people to think of me as a realtor who is fun, smart, and gets the job done. Something very cheesy, but hey, you know what? This works. Content marketing. Okay, stop the questions for now. See how this can just keep going forever? So that's why you just want to sit down for 30, 45 minutes and program this. All right, stop the questions for now. Give me my customized personalization instructions. My customized custom instructions for ChatGPT that I can copy and paste. Now watch this. After all that we just did, this is what it gave us. And now this is who you're going to talk to every single time you log in. I'm a realtor in Colorado who helps new and young families get into homes. I've helped over 200 families, 250 successfully purchase homes in the challenging Colorado market. My current goal is to help 5 more families get into homes by November. I want ChatGPT to help me grow my business, improving relationships, finding opportunities, deals, strengthening. This is your brand. This is your focus. I want ChatGPT to think like this, And then look at all this stuff. And then how would you like to respond? So look at this is incredible. But you see what we did there, you know, and there's a couple other things that you can drop in this prompt. So build it with me. So what I just did, if you did not do it along with me, stop this video and go do it now. Before you watch another AI thing, I literally gave you something that will change your life. So if you don't go ahead and practically do this right now, why would you waste your time watching another video? See, it's like copy the custom instructions of the prompt. It's in the video description. Install them, improve your results, answer the questions, test the prompts. You should leave this video with something you built, not just something you learned. That is the whole point of me shooting these videos, is because I've learned so much and I'm sharing them with you. And so I do not want to see you waste your business, waste your life. Go ahead, put this into practice and change your business, change the way that you interact with technology. And I guess follow for more practical videos, subscribe. I think I'll try to drop one about once a week. As the momentum picks up, I'll definitely drop more. But thanks for joining us today. And hopefully now that you see how simple this is and how you can do it and it will change your life, go ahead and start doing it and build an AI empire with me. That sounds a little weird. How about you just build something practical and join me on my adventure?